but this is a lot for Kellogg's to do.
He needs to do so much here, but he's only capable for the first one as Famzy looks to break in. They can afford to go for the trade game all day long. Zyphov is now on the hot seat, hiding within an opposing smoke, looking to see if he could break through here, but it's a tough one. HGE aren't going to take any chances. Number 1 seed coming in from Spain as the Italian Orgs take over, really, in that side of EMEA. And it's some quick exchanges that allow...
He should be able to pick up Hunter's Fury. Not going to be used in the post plant at all from the attacking squad. It's going to be used on the entry, and it finds the kill onto Mikey. Mitchell brings it at least for a 5 versus 3 in the amount of time, but it is traded out for mandatory.
Yeah, real quick. The fights keep going. That nice come does reveal serial killer, which does put Enzo in pole position there. Cypher looks to help out, but Hyber's left to himself. Oh, but he might just be able to do it. God damn. 1v1 now required. Off for the reload. Kellogg's used to be amongst the most celebrated players in VCT EMEA. Now asked to do it in Tier 2. Hyper just jumps back, but Kellogg's looks to close up the distance. Cloudburst concealing himself for a little bit, but can't.
Last round, so it wasn't really that expensive for them, and there's some gaps in utility on this defense. Yet again, HGE finding that opening, but we saw how quickly Mandatory were able to trade it out and win the round last time.
They might be able to do it this time. The attack comes in 2 waves, and the second one about to pop. First one didn't get followed up by the flash, so it did mean they lose most of the players in the exchange. But now the second attempt begins. Mikey can't get anything done from a higher angle, but Kellogg's does give them some alleviation. Looks to break through and go aggressive yet again, but one player stuck on site will be an intrication. Hype. So tough to try over that smoke. He might give it an opportunity, but instead it's going to be HGE looking to aggress here. Enzo caught off guard, but Kellogg's might be able to pick up the pieces.
Oh, wow.
Say a big note of that. So Cake with a triple. And that leaves Mikey all to himself, and he's got to vacate the premises. This round is over. Really need to hang around the A site too much. And then on the cross towards B, serial killer. This time, not the interrupter. He's the interrupted. And Mitchell looks to see if he can break through into the B side. 2 very different angles he needs to take care of.
They got knife.
A transgression from Mikey. Not able to deliver as Zyphov holds the line. Still, HG falling down in numbers. And suddenly the Armageddon not doing all that much apart from giving them space to go for the bomb part. MDR looking to play the timing here, but HG will be aggressing. Famzy draws it back to 1v2, and this is doable.
They're behind him.
Fury in hand, double shock dart, but he is low on health, so he'll try and isolate these. Has no idea where the 2 players are coming from, but he's got to have a hunch at this point. Here's the movement from Kellogg's. Here's his opponent as well. He's stunned, but Kellogg's not taking the peek. Aftershock coming through, providing a single-handed fight. Oh, it could have been!
And it's going to actually connect, I think, onto the KO, and never mind, it's used on the attack. Famzy finding onto Hip. Fantastic stuff for HGE to find themselves in a 4 versus 2 advantage.
They've been so disrupting, haven't they? Time and time again, entering opposing lines and causing havoc, disallowing the setup. Mitchell, so quick to react. That was brilliant. He doubles up his kill score this round, and Kellogg's is stuck in the middle.
Omen, and you go, that's not too surprising, but this is what they're expecting. They're not able to actually stack up as a high-low together, so it does provide Kellogg's a pick, and I mean, at this point, HGE have made their presence known. Tried to reset with footsteps.
Oh no, you're not sure. Oh, what Hyper? Come on! Just peeking, operator holding the angle and still coming out on top with a headshot pick, and now looking to move into the A site, interrupted with the rolling thunder. Hope is able to get there quick enough. Famzy is, though, the one to get in control of the heavens. He's the one in control over the cross, but no.
30 seconds left.
Big turnaround yet again. As Mandatory seem to seize control, Spike goes down for Mitchell. But how much more can he do realistically? Cloudburst dropping right on time, double collection, but Zyphov was... faces, and that's exactly what they're doing again. Paranoia moving through, rolling thunder, looking to counteract it, though Famzy takes an off angle on a one-way, and that's going to favor Mandatory every day. Hyber, though, is able to keep things close. As a 2v3 seems to settle, serial killer looking to hold the line here, but Mitchell is the next contestant, can't quite find the first shot, so Kellogg's with the opportunity.
Onto people, and Hunter's Fury trying to break apart this attacking hold.
Well, Enzo's Hunter's Fury won't be connecting the first time, but the third shot does get an opponent there, but this is getting a bit too chaotic, moving in through the smokes. Hip is the only one available, well, leaving Kellogg's all to himself to fend off what is approaching. Recon timing is superb on the spike already to try and put players in difficult positions. Not looking to stick any hold just yet. Oh, the players is for Oh no, Cake, that is not part of the plan, and the fault line is superb. Syfoff ends up with 2, but now the spike is held halfway. Will be easier for Mitchell to guarantee. Oh, you need to go for the pick there, but you do not. So defusal is successful, albeit having most players alive.
It's also mandatory, I think, changing a lot when it comes to like the comp that they've been playing here. Enzo, nice and clean with their approach. Really feels that it's a necessary round for mandatory to get on the board, especially when it's up against a bonus. I like the idea of the timing from Fams. He gets one, he's able to get out, and Serial Killer, he finds perfect timing again, but this time onto Mikey.
It's got to hurt, and it's got to add up. It's got to start putting pressure on you if you're mandatory. But for HG, this is just comfort here. You know you've got the numbers. You're going to group up together. Hit, forced to do something spectacular here. He's able to unlock the first one in his favor. His captain, on the other hand, has got all of his health. And he's about to be approached from on. As of yet, getting a nice dub in Spain. Up until that point, only 7 1/8. And now he's looking to supersede that with strong performances on an EMEA stage as well to add to it. Kellogg's able to find some sort of an answer. Mitchell sticking around, not thinking the aftershock would affect him in that position. But it does. And mandatory might be given an opportunity here, and that's exactly what happens. Now they've got the site locked and loaded, and there's really not much that Famsy can do. It's like a fishbowl, and he's on the outside, looking in. You can see all the fishies, and he might just be able to eliminate them all as well.
He's got 5 bullets.
You're right. Not much available to him, but hit finds are right.
There's a lot of low players, not great guns for mandatory.
Well, the flash comes out and it's superb. The follow-up is even better. Spike didn't even have a chance to go down. Smoke dissipates, and Kellogg's drops. One by one, mandatory players are finding their faces splattered all over the ground. 5 bullets to spare on Ainslow's chamber. As he looks away.
His name. It's not a 2.
It's time to make it work. Mitchell just gets away with murder. It is pure chaos. Hip is able to get something done though, and albeit some weaker weapons on that side of the fray, mandatory are starting to make it work. How about that? That's a clean sight taken. Now they've got double the players available for this problem.
Yeah, a perfect example of what I was talking about before, I think, of just when the timings work, especially off of Hip's utility. This mandatory team could be an absolute freight train. They do have a rolling thunder, and there's a couple of players just been isolated in some of these 1v1 duels. Enzo lucky to get the kill considering he was nearsighted, and Cake has brought this into a 1 versus 2.
Sidesteps into the smoke and walks out just as the drone lands, but he's given a lot of audio cues. Enzo looking to run away. Oh, 180 turnaround of ultimates are available for the Spanish representing team. Mikey, Zyvov are able to hit large at start. Famsy looking for retaliation coming through, but it's mandatory they're able to break in. HGE are forced to respect it, but now throwing in some utility of their own, trying to take these fights. Again, Mikey playing the timing nicely. Hyper there to assist as well, and the only player that does get something done is Serial. Though he gets instantly dealt with. Cake, can you find the answers? I don't think. And there is control, but now that it's back onto the A site. And Enzo uses a Hunter's Fury with great success. A pickup and a tag. That is beautiful. Now, will this spike end up exploding? Mikey on the lurk, and this time it's unexpected because he hasn't done this before. This is the first time they're seeing it, and HG aren't really happy about this. Overtime knocking on their door, and they just want to make sure this house does not go down. Let's see if they can take this on. Let's see if they can break through. Hunter's Fury of their own, not finding much success. Kellogg's holding onto the site as Mitchell's looking for the pick. Enzo having his teammates back. Breakaway to the back site. Famsy wins it, but 3 required of him, and that spike is getting frantic. It's ticking ever quicker, and all the utilities still available. And the spike looking to reach its end means that we are heading to an overtime.
Noise thrown in onto the point. Spam damage, but it really is just trickling in from mandatory. This defense was the reason why I think they were down such a large deficit. And they're down a player. Kellogg's having the operator. How can you really find an opening? Enzo at least makes it a bit more even, but there's still work to do.
Well, with him having all of his util available, it might just be it for him. But the paranoia is a great counteraction, and Kellogg's unable to see. Will end up being dealt with. This is beautiful coordination, isn't it? Ooh, Kellogg's has spotted out someone from above and he's able to spray on top. It was just a one tap, not a spray. Still though, you can see HGE very much in this affair. So Cake hiding within his own smoke, and I'm not quite sure if that can be expected. Never mind, he does end up throwing a few bullets of his own, and HGE might just be able to do it. All that was needed is just OT. Mandatory take it step by step. Shrouded step allows the Cake to run away and regroup with his team 2v3. Kellogg's posts up close. Can he do it? Can he hold the line here for Mandatory as he tries to pull his team across the finish line and get this to another round of OT? Hypnos. He's drawing it down to a 1v2. Nice little flash, but both players fly low. He runs away with another. Now he's got the Rolling Thunder available, throws it towards his opponent, and now he's concussed. Switch up a position. So Cake, he's looking at it, but now time is an issue. Where Hip has got tons of it by inside him.
That's the plan for Mandatory, is to give this up at least till a point. Hype is absolutely feeling it, trying to play off the recon dart, and Enzo, the Odin is still in play, brings it to a 4 versus 3. 4 versus 2 now as Syvoth gets the kill onto Serial.
We did talk about this could be about the team that wins on the defensive side here on the overtime. HGE frantic upon being spotted by an out drone, take a quick push, but Mandatory look to pounce. Oh dear me, Enzo back in it. This Odin is where he finds comfort in. Hyber now on the hottest seat of them all. He can barely sit. Shivers all over.
Time is getting a bit low.
Around the site, Enzo's recon spots him, but he still ends up with 120 points of health, 3 positions. Doesn't get affected by the salvos, but it's smite.
Let's watch your flank.
Kellogg's looking to aggress. He finds a high ground power burst. It's expected from Mitchell, but not counteracted. Oh dear, serial killer though. Shorty in hand. Kellogg's in his face with a right click with the blades. Uh-oh. HGE might have just realized they have fumbled this one high, but it's all in his hands, but no longer. Slips right through his fingers as Mandatory make it work. A 12-5 disadvantage.
He's going to go into Garage. There wasn't a trade available, and it was a nice clean kill from Serial Killer. Mikey is hiding around the corner trying to play this late.
Spike planted.
But the spike has gone down for Mandatory over on that C site.
Serial is able to get away with his life there. When they first picked that, he was able to get so many times as being the player to open rounds up, and HGE seemed to continuing with that momentum, grouping all 5 players together in a ball of death. Syvoth is in trouble as the spike is now being touched. Famzy, a lot being done here, but nothing from Mandatory. Mikey joins the fight a bit too late, and now players
positioned for quite some time. They expect the HGE are going to try and get information, and right now they haven't bothered, so Mikey's just going to take that space anyway. The one kill, they're not going to go for a C execute. In fact, they're going to get Kellogg's to get going over in sewers.
Oh, this is sneaky. Very,
he heard
very
steps.
Sneaky. He anticipates that Famzy's gone all the way around on long, and that's another pickup. An outlook collected, and potentially the A site handed over entirely to Mandatory.
Kellogg's be able to posture up quite aggressively. Has a really big gun now, and you're up against the Guardian, Sting, and a Bulldog. Has to be a careful peek, and it isn't at all from Mitchell. It's a 5v2.
Hyper! That is hyper aggressive. But it was only enough of a distraction for Sakake to get one pick, but with Syvoth going on there, I didn't think the Aldrin would have checked Mitchell's angle, but it does. Aftershock stand up. He is doomed. And as much as Hyper would have liked to assist there, it was mostly down to his spray and, of course, the Aftershock. So now Mandatory, with 33 seconds on the clock, have got to make a decision, but HGE also have got 3 defenders lying in way here. This is not too bad of a situation for them, especially with the
recon
posted up here. It's still a trade, though, albeit spotted. Sakake needs to make it work here under the smoke. He's got his brother hand in hand. 15 seconds, and the Mandatory took a quick decision to move to the B site. No, they're heading all the way to C.
10 seconds left.
I should be fine timing-wise, but it's a bit of a risk. Camera is still there to just get a tag, but nobody's really going to be able to follow up on it. We have got the Sober trying to push mid, trying to get people on the cross. There's a trip there that's going to slow things down. Luckily, Mikey is playing in Garage, and everybody's grouped up now from Mandatory, so this is great from them.
That's what they wanted to do, destabilize HGE here, get in their heads, get into their positions, but they've sort of let them cross into sight here. Looking to navigate around them as Enzo is a sacrificial lamb. Mikey not able to retaliate, Hyper coming and first in. But HGE looking to put Sakate also into the defensive line. Serial killer, that's a brilliant angle, but in between smokes. Looks to bounce in again, but not as eventful as the first time around. Mikey looking to blockade any of the entries. Sakate still stuck in the back of the site, has to be dealt with. Hyber, double kill with a Hunter's Fury as they try to take down the player at the back of site. Enzo is all by himself, and he's isolated. Players behind him, in front of him, can't really play. This could be 5 if you just wait 5 more seconds. Mitchell through the smoke. Famzy wants to join in as well. There might have just been a gap through it, which is exploited. Enzo needs to get a pickup here or else he'll be in trouble. And that's exactly where he is. A 1v3 with
2 world performers. Haven's going to be feeling good.
Yeah, has to. It started off great. And Mitchell's got a read. And he might just have the timing as well. Double kill to nothing. No trade. No counteraction. This is HGE on high-flying performances.
Comfortable as well. Looked in some moments of Mitchell, you know, you think back to a few rounds ago where he was stuck in that corner where a lot of those red X's are on the minimap. He might have just been almost like inting a little bit to try to make a play because things weren't going well. But now that aggressive nature is working out perfectly for them, he's just going to sit back on the A site. 4 players on this defensive side of HGE, leaning towards A more than anything. So it does mean that B is open. It is watched though by the Omen.
2 different fights in 2 different places. Kellogg's can't quite change his angle in time. Mikey completely telegraphed.
A lot of pings, lots of information. The operator's trying to look in his close quarters. The Rolling Thunder's going to be used more towards CT and trades either side, make it a 4v4.
Using the operator like a shotgun, like a madman. And HG have found confidence throughout that fight. Famzy keeps it going.
No distractions.
Well, who wins the minigame?
It's Mikey
Mitchell versus
again.
Mikey again, but it's Mitchell to come out on top, obviously, because he's got more health available to him.
Discipline from both teams. Famzy has shown where he is with the operator, but he's Euro. He could TP around. Shocked out was attempted from Hyber, but Hip holding on, expecting to play. Finds maybe life.
Exactly. Could just be it. Oh, that is a massive dimensional drift. It reveals 2 players, but they do take the aggressive. But Famzy just moves out of the shadows, brings out the shorty. Enzo tasked to do it by himself. Specks of where his opponents could be appear for a mere moment, but it just isn't enough. Doesn't even know if the spike is being held. Shot that again, trying to see if he can do extra damage, but Sakate happy to hand off Sewers, but they themselves might be handed out access to the A site. Hyber, he's hyper dangerous. He will take Kellogg's down with him, and that's an important piece of the puzzle here for mandatory Famzy. Oh, scopes out. So it might provide an opportunity here for Hip to end up on top, though. Famzy holds on to his life for a little longer. Hip with a counteraction, 1 minute on the clock, though, and it's a 2v2. Serial very far away from this, won't be impactful just yet.
Feels like them all waiting for Hip to go down potentially before they break the trip, or just at least waiting for the spike to be planted. Nice play from Enzo to go take that space. You know that somebody flanked behind because that trip was broken. So Serial Killer actually resetting, trying to go through their normal defender spawn.
But so much time has passed that you can now anticipate your flank. Enzo looking at the right position right now, awaiting. Information handed over. He'll do it. Best performer of his league. Now looking to do it on an all-European stage. Tagged up. Timing against him. 2 very different and treacherous angles. But you've got to hand this one away. There simply is no time. How it deflects. Now being on the defensive, the counteraction, Cyphoff is able to spot a few players moving in his teammates' direction, which they are having a lot of success in dealing with. Finally, able to get ahead of their opponents on the pistols. Famzy, he's required a lot here. Try to bait out the early utility here. See if they can find a favorable fight. But when ISO is taking 1v1s, that's dangerous. Hit on the back lines. Neural theft. Now they know where everybody is, and they can take these fights as they please. Oh, Sakate, that is huge. That is absolutely massive. Converts around right back into his face.
No TP is nothing.
But he makes it work. Never mind. Does get the kill, and the fact that Enzo got his own pick does make things favorable for Mandatory. But then again, HGE can move as a unit and use the numbers advantage wherever they are on the map. Well, for Mandatory, it's a lot more difficult for them to be grouped up together unless it's a post-plant. Paranoia to back of sight. Two players are waiting here from Mandatory, and there might be a breakaway from the smoke here. They both miss each other. Oh my word! And now, different angle of attack. But this time, Mandatory have got a good setup here to the back of the site. Mikey not able to stay alive for long. Hyper stunned up though. No more chimes left on the Hunter's Fury. Serial kill, this is huge. This could potentially break this round. And that's exactly what happens. Kellogg's all to himself, and he doesn't really have the best gun for this situation. He could hope for some sort of a collateral draws back the Odin. He's going to try, isn't he? Now, Famzy very close to the action, but I feel like they know where he is. They come through the smoke, gets the first one, though Mandatory are starting to break through. 3 players against the 2. Rolling Thunder and Sakake is in the sky still, able to find the first one. Kellogg's needs to turn his attention towards him. Operator in hand, misses, thinks about the shorty play, doesn't quite come. Aljo does spot out one player, but you know it's a lurk, so you might want to look to isolate. He gets away with one. Even if he's paranoid, doesn't matter. But Mandatory fumbled the bag when they were favored on the previous retake. This time around, you can't do the same. Otherwise, they'll be in the dirt, both round-wise and morally. Hip. Oh, that's a beauty.
You have at least right now, Kellogg's doesn't want to go too ham because there's nobody there with him. Again, he's just a couple of seconds ahead of the rest of Mandatory. This time, however, it has cost them.
This is going to be a tough one. 4v5. Not much utility remaining here for HGE to try and hold this down. Mandatory, though, have every single flash they need, but they need to be able to follow it up with picks. Still looking to move out of the smoke. Hyper tries to stop it all from happening. Sakake down to a Sheriff, but the time is running low. All he has to do is try and pick in place, unless he's able to flash and stop them from being able to shoot him. Instead, he gets shot right in the face with a sting, and Mikey gets into the fight preemptively. Those could be some potential rifle pickups, some upgrades. Hunter's Fury trying to deny them, but no kills go their way. 15 seconds, the spike goes down, and Mandatory are eager to get a pick here, eager to get a kill. Otherwise, this might be curtains. Mitchell does get shut down through the smoke. That is crucial. And this round could either go any way. Sakake still doing so much damage. Hyper backline is able to find one shot. That's going to put his opponents off balance. Enzo forced now to clutch this. Knows one player is behind. One player backside. 7 bullets. Turns his attention towards one. 4 bullets. Goes for the other. But tries to calm down a bit because Hyper isn't taking the fight to him. No shock dart available for his opponent. Knows he's nearby. Hyper jumps up off the plant, off the defuse rather.
Ooh,
and Hyper
timing.
Can it be done? It felt like Mandatory were holding all the cards. This time, Kellogg's goes for an aggressive pick again. Kill contract. Who does he get? Mikey again. But this time, Mikey comes out on top, and that's the moment to do it. Because Mandatory are threatening the site take, not allowing the plant to go down. Mikey left behind. But finally, Kellogg's is able to find a pick onto the A site. Originally, HGE had 3 defenders here. Now they will again, but will it be on time? Famzy able to avoid the flash hit, winning his fight. Mandatory looking to get onto the match point as well, but it is 3v3 as HGE are able to answer quickly. Now you've got all 3 players fighting, equally trading. Zypher for backside, unable to do it. Now looking to see. Wrong though. Mikey. Oh.
He wallbangs him. Oh no, he TP'd outside. He was right in the corner.
Mikey trying to stay himself alive, knowing that holding that position will be very crucial for his team, but it's the rest of his team that does the heavy lifting. Serial killer all to himself. Now he's a headshot machine, but when he can't see his opponents, now that is a different scenario. If you're halfway, even with a pickup, someone else could just finish the job. This is as strong as a defense as you could hope for here for HGE, but you are being bombarded with utility and as well as lead as of this moment. HGE though want to break through, don't want to let Mandatory settle down at all whatsoever. Mikey though shows his presence. Kellogg's on the reload, does get caught off guard. 2v2. Mikey backside might be caught off by Famzy, but sets a big note to that. Serial killer looking to lurk. All of his teammates have fallen in front of him. Oh, but he just might be given a gift. All he has to do is unwrap it.
Enzo though.
Odin, Recon, double shock dart. Serial without a clue of where his opponent is, but might get it!
Really needs to go careful, does he?
He needs a pick. If he doesn't, that's it. It's over. If he gets spotted, if he gets taken down. This could be it, but he's given away the information that he's back at the site. Paranoia drops before him. Mikey, that's a strong entry, but Cake is able to answer. This is still fickle. Could go either way. 2v2. Famzy, strong angle. Does miss the first shot, but is there for the guarantee. HGE, a labored effort, but they rejoice by the end. 15 to 30. Aggressive action already. Mandatory breaking through the B site. It might be finding another angle of attack, breaking into the players where Hobbit seems to be, where they're high. Found to get one for now as he destabilizes one with a blast pipe, but it seems that it's the end of this round already as Mandatory put the A under their control.
And Mandatory might be able to get a couple of streaks of pistols together. Took them a while to get going, but at this point, maybe a little bit spoiled.
Towards his B site, two defenders lurking. Hyber on the drop back, unable to connect the first few shots, which is enough to put him to his sleep. Mitchell trying to hold on, but no cover for him. Allows Mandatory a quick two-piece. That puts him right back on top. But Cake is still lurking, and so is Serial, but this time dealt with. Enzo there to hold it.
About getting an elimination. He just wants HG to back up.
And he does exactly that, waits for the right moment to chime, given that HGE needed to push in there, but now on the spike, you've got to play the spray game. Recon spotting out one of the players is enough to hit to find the bullet to the head.
So far, but there's 4 big ultimates, almost 5 from HGE. Famzy making his way to another showstopper very soon.
So the kill contract was wasted, not able to find anyone.
One down.
But Mandatory just break through into the B site. Brute force. Serial killer. Asked to do a lot here. Good for the one, as Mitchell finds himself another sideline. Stopping the cross from extra players, but this could also mean a transition. Bomb can be picked up and head towards the C site, but with the from the shadows utilized, you've got no idea where Cake is.
Yeah, that Omen is scary.
Dig his feet in.
Mitchell wants to watch the cross, but he's so low HP, he has to give it up.
Here.
Oh, look at the Omen. Look at Cake. He's gone all the way around.
Oh! He wins the fight. Both players low, and that's a perfect situation for an Odin player because he can just spray across, but he's running out of bullets, so he can't really afford to random spray. And Cake finds it! You don't really want to take a space that's granted. Instead, Hit tries to make some moves into B, and it does end up to bite him. Hunter Fury with just a single tag, no collection, and HGE are really close to this fight.
Off your feet!
Enzo planting aggressively, and a Rolling Thunder's going to try and create some space over on Waterfall. Showstopper going to be used on this defense, but there's so much to clear. Catches Mikey that was just lurking in the smoke. Enzo, he has the Hunter's Fury, but he has to play it on the site. He still hasn't quite planted. Kellogg's trying to find some space, find a kill as it's a 2 versus 5 for Mandatory to try and clear this up. They really just want to get off of the site if they can. Everybody's here.
HGE, though, try and play it patient, ends up blowing up in their face. No way you're able to convert this from a 2v5 into a 2v2. Now you've got a chance, though. Enzo on site,
30
unscathed,
seconds left.
not worried at all. As Mitchell now left alone. He can try and spray across the wall here. Both players are teasing him, trying to jump up and down with the classics. Deals with the player that was a full health. Enzo now, though, the captain forced to drop back. Maybe 12 seconds, could have tried to make a run for B instead of... And with 30 seconds, those pistols become ever more dangerous. Kellogg's not able to double blast pack in, instead has to take the solo peek. Therefore, the Guardian from Serial was doing quite a bit. Mitchell able to retrieve a Vandal and looks to walk out of the smoke, and it works superbly. 20 seconds, a spike in no man's land.
And the other 2 players far away. It's a cardinal sin when you're on an Antico to go for this, but opening this doorway to try and go around might be the play that catches HGE out.
1 enemy remaining.
Well, Paranoia said...
Got one.
Oh, he really is. Serial killer might be just be able to avoid death. No, not quite. Mikey wins his own fight, and Mandatory might be creating the biggest lead we've seen so far.
Player standing.
He
From
missed.
them, Kellogg's keeps it going.
In the high line.
Ooh, off angle from Kellogg's, and it bears fruit. Early collection, and now Mandatory need to transition into the C site because that's exactly where HGE are going.
The Hit might be doubling down. He does have the breach to play off, and Enzo, no recon dat just yet, but certainly support to play into. Hype in the high ground is nice, but the kills have actually come in. Enzo played backside, doing a lot of damage with a shock dart, but might want to just keep his pistol out just when you've got that ISO right around the corner.
Not over just yet, though, especially when you've got more players looming around. Mandatory suddenly able to break through with Kellogg's,
One
getting
enemy
himself
remaining.
into Sands, now wanting to get into backside. One player remaining, and Kellogg's is brutal stuff. And Famzy is able to deny any sort of retrieval of the orb.
It was a good punish. That might be a bit
I
much.
have a feeling that Mandatory are getting a bit overzealous here.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
quite a bit actually. Why do they always fall victims to the low buys, huh? Otherwise, they've looked very clean. I feel like 2 out of the 3 rounds that HGE have were off of Thrifties, and they might just make it 3 out of 4.
They just yearn for it. They just yearned for the passionate fights. But regardless, it is still HGE only having an outlaw as a weapon and finding themselves in a 5 versus 2. Hip is one of the players that didn't have anything at all.
Super good at holding down when they're one of the attackers, but now, let's see what's in store for us as they're the defenders grouping up together, 3 players strong. The bunch up is good. The showstopper, can it find its mark? It does. Hyber destroyed. Smoke, though, is what HG are trying. Of course, many steps to get there, but this is a step in the right direction. Mikey, he gets found. Kellogg's, he just walks out of the smoke like that. But still, this round is competitive because Enzo's on an Odin. But it wasn't even his Odin that got the kill. It's Zyvov. What on earth is going on? 3v3. Cross is permitted. Now Sight to be taken over, and Enzo all by himself here. He's got the Aldron. He knows that one is approaching. He is vulnerable, but gets the Odin to do the heavy lifting. This is incredible. And the backline's being breached.
Counter this, if it wasn't for the paranoia, he's pulling a lot of attention away for Enzo, who's able to get a kill through the spray.
It's an Enzo classic, and Zyvov able to play off of it. It's working like a charm. At least for HG, though, they get the bomb plant, but both players are so separated from one another.
Cover going
2
out.
different sides of the map. Mikey approaching, but he needs to figure out this position. Goes all the way around and waits for his opponents to arrive, for his teammates rather. So Kate needs to turn, and he won't be able to. This might be a clean defuse. You've also got Hip here trying to stop Serial from stopping this defuse from happening. But Serial's coming alive. Not quite the triple. Won't be happening now. I think there's plenty of time for the defuse as well. Mandatory will get it done. 13-5. 2 labored maps at the start, both requiring overtime. But this third one looked a lot cleaner. It's Mandatory's, and so is the series.